Hi guys, it's me, Teresa Perrin. I want to discuss AVCT and just a quick update video for you. Let's get started. Please remember to smash that like button. Thank you so much. And nothing I say is financial advice. All right, guys. So on the daily chart, as you can see, we are essentially just consolidating. That's all this big area is here. The longer we consolidate, the higher the move to the upside should be. Now, we are trading under the blue wave on the MACD. However, look at this red line. We want this to curl and go above the green. And look at how close it is. They're practically touching. So hopefully tomorrow we get that move and go to the upside. Guys, nobody likes just seeing their stock trade sideways. It stinks, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, no one can control that. Currently, the RSI is only at 38.38 on the daily chart. As the price goes up, I would expect the RSI to go up. I would ultimately like to see it like here, trending to the upside, not curling to the downside, and trading in that 50 and above range. Now, real quick, I want to point something out to you on the daily chart, and hopefully my computer does not shut me out because it's 8 p.m. and market's closed, and it might kick me off of Fidelity while they update their system. Hang on. All right, guys, real quick before I get tossed out. See the last couple of candles of today? These are looking at the 5-minute candles. Look at that spike, okay? We went from $1.30 all the way up to $1.36 at a high, pulled right back down, went up to 133, pulled back down, went up to 134, pulled back down, and we closed the day out at 132. Guys, this after hours, last few minutes of market close, aggressively sweeping up shares. Either they are covering short positions or they are accumulating them for some reason. That is why you would see a move like this right at the end of the day. They were aggressively buying this in the last few minutes, not to draw attention to it earlier in the day where people would have an opportunity to trade or react to it. So again, that further makes me believe that tomorrow we see this move to the upside. Now, I want to point something else out in this chart. This looks like a typical Susquehanna chart with this barcoding pattern. See this? This is pure barcoding. They are taking advantage of the fact that our volume has dried up, right? And they are barcoding it to control the price in whatever way they want. Probably getting people to buy in on these runs and then dropping it back down and getting them to sell at a loss. And they're just acquiring as they're doing that, guys. This is all just standard BS that Susquehanna is very well noted for. And I will have you know that I told you when I started seeing those folks into this trade, and nothing against any of them. I was also a BBIG fan at one time. But I know that they're very familiar with what Susquehanna does, and I'm sure that Susquehanna took note of that too, because that's when I started noticing things started to change. And again, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just telling you that Susquehanna stinks, and they like to play games, and they know that they can play games with us, with this retail crowd, unfortunately. And this is typical. Guys, I know there's a lot of BS and people are spreading FUD, and I get all kinds of things all day long, which gets annoying as can be, because I don't get paid by anybody. I wish to God I did. If there's a way to do that, because I love talking about stocks, please just let me know how in the comments below. But no, I'm not a paid shill, and I am long AVCT, despite what freaking ramen noodles or whoever else has to say. It's not true. I am long the stock just like you guys, and yes, my position obviously is down like everybody else that has been in this play, especially if you were in it pre-reverse split. Even if you got the best price, you are down. And yes, it stinks, but you know what? I don't really give a crap because I have conviction in the play, guys. And you know what? If you're swing trading this for a buyout or for a potential run up, then you don't care about the intraday price to price actions. And you realize that right now we have an opportunity for 45 days from the closing of that deal with the new shares and warrants. We have the opportunity to run this stock. And trust me, Susquehanna is going to try to barcode this as much as they possibly can. There is no doubt in my mind about that. But guys, if they lose control and we can start getting volume back into this play, We have an opportunity to run this with no fears of dilution. So spread the word. All right, I didn't plan to do an AVC video today, CT video today, because quite frankly, I'm exhausted and want to talk about something else. You know, I can't talk about the same stock all day long, guys. I trade multiple tickers during a day. This is a swing trade for me. I'm not trading it. I'm not even in and out of this, guys. I'm just long. It's just sitting there, taking up space, waiting for either a buyout or for a nice short squeeze. You know, based on whatever it's showing in Fintel and Ortex, like I talked about in my last video, doesn't look like that's the case. But believe it or not, short interest has gone up from 4.92% to over 6% today. So again, that just tells you they continued shorting. And real quick, I am going to pull up for you Market Chameleon so we can keep track of this lovely market manipulation with the dark pool. So let me pull it up and post it for public to see. All right, guys, we were down 6 cents today, or 4.35%. We are essentially consolidating if you look at the pattern on the chart, and it does look like we made a double bottom and are forming a W formation if you look at the 5-minute chart. Guys, the volume today has dried up. It was half the normal volume at only 3.32 million shares. Our average volume is 6.67 million shares. So a lot of people are not watching this play, unfortunately for us. Now, AVCT dark pool trades today accounted for 67% of the total volume. And guys, the average daily... Oh, this is interesting. It's showing 0% for the total volume in the past 20 days. Now, guys, I think something's wrong with their system because I saw this in Mullen as well. If you watch that video, you'll also notice I had to pause and do a double take. So I don't know whether they're updating something or what, but I'm liking the fact that I'm seeing it on 2 now because that tells me it's something with their system. It's just not accurate right now. But 67% of all trades today were in the dark pool. So you tell me how there can possibly be any price action based on proper buy and sell orders, guys. There physically cannot be. It's just not possible because they're manipulating the price by doing this. Well, guys, I firmly believe that part of the reason they do this is to bore you out of your shares and just get you to sell at a loss. And guess what? Lots of times they do that. They succeed. They pull this game for a few days, a few weeks, who knows, however long they feel the need to do it. And then the stock all of a sudden rips out of nowhere. Well, today was no surprise that there was more outflow than inflow, but this is something that has not been the case. So there was only an inflow of 1,192.77 versus an outflow of 1,510.80. So there was a significant change to the outflow. So guys, you know, that's something that we haven't seen before. So that tells me that people are getting bored or they're starting to believe shills and they're selling out of their position. You know what? If that's something that you need to do, you have to do you. But to sell at a loss, I just can't understand. You know, as far as sweep orders go, 20% of all of the action today was sweep orders. And this is basically probably the market makers trading back and forth with each other because they're aggressively sweeping in one direction or the other, trying to send a price a certain way or accumulating shares. One of the two, it's hard to say which, but only 9% of the volume today was from large block trades. So I still don't think we're... All right, guys, according to Ortex, our short interest has gone up from that 4-point-something% to 6.23%, and the cost to borrow is also rising. The average was 24.08 and the max 33.37. They borrowed 698.4 thousand and only returned 146.8 thousand. So what does this tell you? They are definitely still continuing to short this, and I don't care that that number went from 250 to 50 to 4%, now to 6%. Guys, I do not know what on earth they're doing. Again, use this as a tool only because clearly they're swapping those shares out somewhere, or perhaps all of those shares were the shares that they bought under that deal with the 5 million that they got? I don't know. I don't know how to even answer it, but they seem to always be able to get away with whatever it is they're doing. But guys, do remember that this information is also self-reported, so they can report and say whatever they want. The reality of the fact is, definitely today they are scaring people out of their positions and people are selling for a loss. Shame. I don't know what to say. I mean, if you need the money, you need the money. But if you're doing it because you're bored, then this probably shouldn't have been a stock that you invested in, because it's a buyout play and that takes time. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. I honestly would like to say that based on the chart, I'd like to see the price move to the upside tomorrow based on where we are. But again, I don't know. I do think that the market maker's been holding this over that $1.30, $1.31. I do believe that this is the bottom and that we do move upwards, especially based on the last 15 minutes of trading today. It's hard to deny those candles. It really is. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night.